And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Vidalia Heritage Academy Eagle Baseball. Chester Proctor, along with my statistician and cohort today, Rusty Rogers, who's been thrown on the scene here, and he's going to do an amazing job. We're out here broadcasting a little bit different than normal. Normally we have our commercials and we have all of our stuff, but unfortunately today we had a little bit of trouble with our computer system, and so we're not going to be able to do this today with the computer, but we do want to thank our sponsor before we get into this game today. Family owned and operated, that's Sykes Farms. Owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer, and they grow a variety of crops but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions. They are stewards of God's soil and water and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball. Let's talk about what we've got in the way of the starting lineups, and we'll let Mr. Rogers give us our starting lineups real quick as we get ready to start for First Presbyterian.
All right. Thank you, Chester, and thanks to our sponsors as well. And we have on the mound today for Vidalia Heritage Eagles is Connor Whited, and his battery will be Ledger Curl at catcher. In left field will be Ethan Sykes. Center field, Hugh Baird. Right field will be Matthew Norcus. Third base, Jacob Thompson. Shortstop, Rhett Rogers. Second base, James Hutchison. And first base, Mason Beecham. And we are just about ready for first pitch.
All right, we'll give you the starting lineups for the First Presbyterian Highlanders as we talk about each batter as they come up. Leading off for the Highlanders here is going to be, in the beginning of this ball game, Cam Nunn. The shortstop. First pitch is on the way, and Nunn drives it out towards right field. It's going to drop short. Little Texas leaguer will be scooped up by our right fielder. And that's Matthew Norcus as Norcus gets the ball in, and a base hit for the Highlanders. Again, up in the press box today, out at the Ed Smith Complex, working a little bit less than the way we worked before. Young, the pitcher for the Highlanders, is going to be up next. Throw down to first is not in time and bounces away from Richard. Check that, Nunn.
Beecham.
I'm sorry, from Beecham. Thank you. I had it on the wrong sheet, and I thought that we were at the thing there. So Young steps back in, the pitcher for the Highlanders. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, hit out towards center. On the run is going to be, and be not able to get to its Ethan Sykes as it bounces behind him. Runners will sound around second and third, and that's where those guys both will stop. So a stand-up double for Young as he makes his way into second, drives Nunn on down to third base. Runners at second and third, and they'll have a courtesy runner now come in. It looks like for...
he's just going to get his...
he's just going to take off his gear and his equipment? Okay, so he'll head back out there. Okay. So that'll be Young at second, and Nunn at third, with Richard, second baseman, steps up to the plate. Pitch on the way, outside, and he catches the corner for a called strike one. No score early in this ball game. We know some of you are traveling. We appreciate those of you who are traveling or out of the area listening today. We're doing the best to bring you a non-commercial, live, all-you-can-eat baseball game, so to speak. Second pitch is high and outside for ball one. It's 1-1 now on Richard. Green waits on deck for the Highlanders. There's no score. Pitch on the way. The 1-1 fouled off over the screen behind us. 1-2 strikes now on Richard. Rain in the distance. We're hoping to get this one in today without any problems. They're talking about a possible rain shower coming in sometime around 5 or 6 o'clock. We're hoping to get this game in, and right now it's nice. It's overcast, but it's nice. Whitehead with the pitch. This one's hit out towards center. It's going to fall into the gap. A run's going to score, and it looks like it's going to be a 2 RBI, a double, with a stand-up for Richards as he brings in 2, and they have pulled ahead now 2-0 early in this ball game. That's going to bring up number 2, Green, the center fielder. They got a runner at second now with a 2-0 score. And no outs. Whitehead with the pitch. It looked like to me it was down Main Street, but it's going to be ball 1 on Whitehead. For Whitehead on Green.
And it looks like First Presbyterian has come out ready to hit the ball today. They've come out aggressive against Connor. So we'll have to see how the pitching goes.
Whitehead looks back at second. Now the pitch swung on, hit down into the dirt for a foul ball. Runs the count 1-1 apiece.
One ball, one strike.
1-1 the count. Whitehead checks back to second at Richards. Long look at Richards, checks again. Pitch inside, comes around in a nice curve there as it comes back from the inside out and crosses the plate. And that one didn't look like it was going down Main Street and turned at the last minute.
That's what you'll see out of Connor. He mixes his pitches up well. He'll throw that curve in there for a strike. So they're going to have to be ready for that.
It's a pretty curve by the young Connor Whitehead on the mound today. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count. The pitch, it's in there on outside, swung on, strike 3 and out number 1. So he goes down swinging. And that's going to bring up Nunn. There's 2 Nunns on this team. This is Jay Nunn. The first one is Cam Nunn. He's already scored 1 of the 2 runs today. We have first initials for these guys, so we'll talk a lot about their last names. Nunn with the pitch. Waves at it, swing on. They take off down to third, but we're going to hold it here. Ledger curl behind the plate. And it's strike 1 on Nunn. Divin waits on deck. Richard is 90 feet away. 0-1 pitch on the way. This one hit fouled back towards us over the screen and over our heads. Back into the parking lot for an 0-2 count. You know, I was listening to the coach talk earlier, Rusty, and the coach from First Presbyterian, and he was telling his guys, we got to come in here and we can't think that just because we've been established and they're new that we're better than them. We've got to come in and we've got to play hard. Here's the first pitch, next pitch, outside for ball 1.
Exactly, but they haven't taken anything lightly, and they have come out aggressive, like I said earlier, and swinging it strikes and putting the bat on the ball. So Heritage is going to have to buckle down here in this first inning to get out of it. But Connor's got a lot of command with that curveball right now, so we'll see how it goes.
Whitehead asks for another ball. He gets his new ball, steps back to the mound. Nunn steps back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-0 your score. First Pres with the lead. Pitch on the way. Outside, ball 3, and it's 1-3.
Ball 2.
Sorry, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 1 out. Whitehead gets the sign from Curl. Checks back to third. Pitch on the way. Inside, swung on, and late timed swing kicks the ball back over towards the dugout, towards First Prez's dugout. He'll stay alive there with a 2 ball, 2 strike count. We are upstairs in the press box at the Ed Smith Complex. If you wonder where the crowd is, they're down there. You just can't hear them. We're in an air-conditioned booth. 2-2. Hit up towards a shortstop. It's going to be Rhett Rogers, who's going to throw it to first in time for out number 2, but not before Richards can score. So Richards scores the 3rd run, but out number 2 on the board. And if there's any good news there, the good news is that clears the bases. The bad news is it does 1 by crossing home. Up next is their third baseman, Divin. The pitch to Divin is up high for ball 1. So if you're just tuning in, it's 3 balls and no strikes. It's 3-0 with a no balls and 1 strike and 2 outs. 1 ball and no strikes. We'll get it right in a minute. The 1-0 swung on. Now it's 1-1. Doesn't matter what it was a minute ago.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
It's 1-1 now. Thing that I hope, I'll tell you in a minute. 1-1 pitch on the way. This one's going to be outside for ball 2. The thing that I'm hoping, Rusty, is that the battery, because we're doing this through the phone instead of through the normal programming production system, I'm hoping the battery holds out the entire game.
Let's hope so.
Fouled off back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 counts. Deuce is now on the board. Yeah, if it would be bad to this thing to get down to a last inning kind of game. and the battery go out. Now, a 2-2 pitch is on the way. Outside ball 3. It's a full count now for Devin. Devin is facing a full count. Duncan is on deck for the Highlanders. It's 3-0, the payoff pitch. This one's going to be hit up towards first. Beecham's going to get it, but there's nobody covering in time, but he'll run it all the way back for out number 3. And just like that, Mason Beecham doesn't need anybody covering when he's going to hustle back to the bag and touch it himself, so he does so, and they're able to do that. But they picked up 3 runs in the top of the first inning. We head to the bottom of the first in just a moment, so stick around. Your live broadcast is always brought to you by the family-owned and operated Sykes Farm. Owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer, and they grow a variety of crops, but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions. They are stewards of God's soil and water and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball. Well, Rusty, what do we got?
So in the top of the first, Connor had 20 pitches. He gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. So the first 3 batters reached, and they all scored. However, Connor settled in and got the next 3 batters with a strikeout and 2 ground ball outs. So he settled down there in the first inning and got to work and got it done for us. But now Heritage has got to come in here in the bottom of the first and match them, put some runs on the board too to stay in this game here.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything they do here, anything we do here to put some runs on the board stops them from adding to what we call insurance in the second inning. That's what they want to do, is come out early, get some runs on the board, and they did that. We've got to answer back with this now. The question is, are we going to do what needs to be done behind the plate? If we don't hit the ball, then we're not going to do it. That's what it really boils down to at this point. We'll find out over the next 3 outs, and hopefully they'll come over the next 9 batters and not 3 outs over 3 batters.
Right. But, this is a – oh, okay. Yeah, we talked about it a while ago. FPCA is an established program. Heritage, first-year program. They're having to pull some middle schoolers up to field the team. So it's a young team, but they are a cohesive team. They play good together. And so I look for them to battle here and come out swinging the bats and see if we can get some runners on base and make some things happen.
Leading off for the Heritage Eagles will be Ethan Sykes, the left fielder, catcher Ledger Curl, and shortstop Rhett Rogers, the 1, 2, and 3 batters, as we are approaching the beginning of the bottom of the first inning. 3-0 your score. First Pres has the lead over Vidalia Heritage, but we haven't had a chance to do anything on the offense until now.
And look for Tate maybe to lay one down here I said look for Tate here to maybe lay one down here early, see if he can get on.
Pitch is on the way. He squared the bunt and then pulled back, but it's what you're talking about right there.
With his speed, that's the game plan there. Let's try to get him on base with that speed and move him around. So we'll see what he can do here.
1 ball, no strikes now on Sykes. Pitch squares the bunt. He misses it for a called strike, 1-1.
Yeah, a little high there, but he still managed to get around, but still swung at it. So we'll see. He's 1-1 right now. Let's see what he can do.
The 1-1 delivery inside, called strike. It's now 2 balls, 1 strike on Sykes. Waiting on deck, Ledger Curl. Pitch to Sykes on the way. This one's up high, jumps back out of the glove of Duncan. Bounces all the way to the screen. Duncan turns around and still can't get his eyes on it. And he still can't find it. Curl will trot over and get that ball, and Duncan will get one from Blue. I don't know if he couldn't find it or was just not interested in finding it.
Or maybe he didn't want to go get it. I don't know. But Tate's going to have to battle right here with 2 strikes, so let's see how he can do.
The 2-2 pitch on the way. This one's hit high, and it's in foul territory, but off over to make the play is going to be the third baseman, Justin Diven, and Diven has the play and makes the out for out number 1. So 1 away now, as Young steps back to the mound and Curl steps in for his first plate appearance and hopefully his first at-bat. There's 1 out, pitch on the way. This one's down low, but it's down Main Street low for called strike.
Ledger's another one of the middle schooler players and just a solid player all the way around, so look for some big things out of him.
The 0-1 delivery. This one's on the outside corner for a called strike 2.
Yeah, a little outside, a little low, but he'll battle right here. He'll battle with 2 strikes.
0-2 the count. The pitch. Inside, swung on, strike 3, and Ledger goes down swinging, and there's 2 away. And this was what we didn't want to see happen. And Rhett Rogers definitely didn't want to see this happening as he comes up, the third batter in the lineup, and he's facing now a 2 away right now as First Presbyterian leads Heritage 3-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. Young in the mound, and the pitch from Young on the way. It's up high for ball 1. Rogers steps back out, looks down to Coach Sitzman. They communicate a little bit and steps back in. Young with the 1-0. This one swung on, strike 1. It's 1-1 now with 2 away. Middle school picked up a big win the other day. 1-1 pitch. This one's hit fouled, and it's going to be out of play over the fence on the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes now the count with 2 outs on Rogers. Three to nothing your score. Highlanders with the lead over the Eagles. Bottom of the first. I'm trying to push us through to the second inning, but it's bottom of the first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count on Rogers. The pitch from Young. Down low and outside. This one is going to be ball 2. 2-2 now the count. The Deuces once again on the board with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs.
Double deuce at the plate.
And yes, double deuce at the plate, 22. There's a lot of 2s floating around. Pitch outside, corner called, strike 3. Blue's going to call it there. One thing you can say about him is he's been consistent on that corner the last few times. And if the ball gets anywhere near that right side of the plate, he's going to call it, and he did call it. We'll tell you about your stats in just a minute, but remember, Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball is brought to you all season long by the family-owned and operated Sykes Farms. Owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer, and they grow a variety of crops, but specialize in those sweet Vidalia onions. They're stewards of God's soil and water and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball.
No hits, nobody left on base, and 2 strikeouts for the Eagles, so that ended up the first inning.
3 up, 3 down. That's what we were talking about not wanting to see, and that's what we ended up seeing, which means 1 inning has gone away. That's 1 chance we had. We got the nice thing about going into the second inning is we have a lot more chances, but the bad thing is we've used 1 of them. So
That's right. But
how do you argue with such profundity, huh?
I don't know. You're right. But the defense looks good. They've played good. That's one thing the coaches have talked about. I know at practice is limiting, the errors, and so and not having that big inning off of errors, and so we didn't have any in that first inning. So hopefully, the defense will continue to play solid here behind Connor.
So Connor Whited warming up with his other half of his battery, or the other half of the battery, Ledger Curl. Leading off for the Highlanders here in the top of the second inning is going to be Duncan, followed by Osteen, and then Harmon, your 6, 7, or 7, 8, 9 batters, respectively. As Duncan comes to the plate, the catcher, left-handed batter.
Throws right, bats left.
That's right. Throws right and bats left, my cohort said. And he's right. So Whited is ready to start this inning off, and he does so with a pitch to the outside, and it greases the left side of the plate, and it's called strike 1. The 0-1 pitch inside. It was a bit of had a bit of a slurve to it, but it kind of came off that corner. It was a good. Dropped off the back end there just like you expect, but it just didn't have it had too much direction to the inside. So 1-1 the call, 1-1 the count. Pitch. This one's hit fouled off the left side, now to play towards the parking lot. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on the young man from First Presbyterian, Duncan. Osteen waits on deck. Harmon in the hole, top of the order after that. Pitch on the way. This one's fouled off. Well, wait for it. Yes, it is. It's fouled off down the left line. We had to stop just a second and look at that and wait for the call on that one and see where it landed. Had that one landed inside or chalked the line, we're in trouble.
Yeah, it was close. It was an outside pitch, and he took it that way, just put the bat out there and flipped it out there, and it just barely went foul. But foul ball, so Connor will get back on the mound here and try to finish him off.
1-2 the count now on Duncan. The pitch on the way, outside, coming in. He takes it, hits it right to Rogers, who will grab it off the bounce. The throw to first is in time, and a 6-3 in your playbook puts one out on the board. 3-0 your score right now. First Presbyterian with the lead. Top of the second inning, one out. And that's going to bring Osteen to the plate. This is his first appearance today. Pitch on the way. This has been low from the Blues' vantage point. Ball one. This pitch is going to be right down Main Street and hit right back up to center fielder Hugh Baird, who will make the play for out number 2. And a good routine fly ball for Mr. Baird. We'll bring up the number 9 batter, Harmon. Pitch on the way to Harmon. This one's hit out towards right. On the run is Norcus. He'll take it off the bounce. And he won't be able to do anything in time except to stop the run from advancing. So a base hit recorded for the number 9 batter, Harmon. 2 outs. They got one on the dance floor, and we've got a deficit 3-0 as we head to the top of the order.
And Nunn, first at bat, took the first pitch and hit a single, solid single out of it. So he's going to be aggressive again, probably.
He's also the first runner to score for the First Presbyterian. There's a lot of firsts in this one. There's a lot of 2s in the last one, a lot of firsts in this one. Pitch is going to be over the shoulders of Nunn for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes on the leadoff batter for this team. Pitch on the way. It's going to curve and get in there for a called strike. And Nunn took that one. It's 1-1 now on Nunn. Waiting on deck is Young. Pitch on the way. This one inside. Called strike on the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Nunn. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, outside, way outside. Curl has to come out of his grounds to get it off the ground and out of his box. He's unable to do anything except stop it, but that's what you want to see on a wild pitch like that. You want to see your catcher go, and even though the runner advanced to second, Rusty, that's what you want to see when this kind of stuff, when you see a pitch go off like that.
Yeah, he got out there in time and blocked it. It just got away from him just a little bit for the runner to advance.
2-2 pitch on the way, hit fouled over our heads. It'll remain 2-2 for Nunn.
Really wanting to see Connor just buckle down right here and try to get this, leadoff batter and get out of this inning here. So he's been mixing his pitches up good. Curveball's been working for him. So let's see if he can get another one over the plate here.
Pitch on the way. This one's outside for ball 3. They take off down from second to third on the wild pitch. It's a full count now on Nunn, and Harmon is down there 90 feet away. Your score 3-0 right now. First Presbyterian with the 3-0 lead here in the top of the second inning. It's a full count now on Nunn. Payoff pitch on the way, down in the dirt for ball 4. Curl will stop that from going anywhere, and he'll walk Nunn, but at least Harmon stays at third. Runners at the corners now. That'll bring up the pitcher, Young,
who hit a deep gapper for a double in his first plate appearance. And so, runners on the corner. We'll see if we can get this batter here.
This is the meat of the order, and we don't want to see this side. This order doesn't need to repeat what they did in the first. Pitch on the way. Young swung on strikes, but gets behind. Okay, tipped him, so it tipped him, fouled off, and that's a good thing that it tipped him. Otherwise, we were in trouble and a run was scored. But Blue called it foul ball. Everybody will go back to where they came from, and the only thing that'll change is it'll be 0-1.
Again, aggressive swing, first pitch. Connor's got to work around the plate here. But, aggressive first swing, and he did. He tipped it, and lucky for us, run didn't score.
The 0-1 pitch, they take off from first. Throw's going to be not to first. We'll just let him go because we got to guard the plate with a runner at third. Good job by playing the catcher position down there. Kids, especially in their middle school ages, you even see this in high school aged kids, tend to want to throw to second and try to beat that play, and you run a very good risk. I mean, if you get the out, it's into the inning, but you run a risk of letting a run score, and you don't want to let that runner come home. So runners in scoring position now, 2 of them. Pitch is going to be up high for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike and 2 outs with runners at second and third on the pitcher for the Highlanders. So the 2-1 pitch from Whited on the way. Swung on, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes now, and Whited has evened this thing up with 2 apiece. That's what you were talking about. Now if he can take command of this and throw another ball past him, throw another strike past him, be very specific, then we're gonna be okay, get out of this inning without any damage being done. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on but fouled off, and Young will stay alive. Three to nothing your score if you're just tuning in. We're here early in this ball game, and we're trying to get as much of this game in, if not all of it, before the rain moves in tonight. I know Robert Toombs had a game on the road today, and they got canceled because of rain. Pitch, this one's hit fouled off. He'll stay alive one more time. And Ledger Curl makes the catch off the screen just to show that he can. A good hustle by it, Ledger. 3 to nothing your score. 2-2 the count. Still, it's been 2-2 for a couple pitches. Young keeps battling. The 2-2 pitch again on the way. Inside, not enough to get a ball, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not enough to get a strike, sorry about that. 3 balls, 2 strikes is the count. And we were hoping for the strike.
Yeah, but he's done a good job of mixing his pitches and being around the plate. This is just a good hitter or so.
Pitch on the way, payoff. Inside, swung on. He's going to go foul off the left side before it can make it down to third. And I tell you once again, the way we're covering the outfield, we don't want to have to explain any of those chalking the lines.
No, but there again, Connor threw the curveball. It was inside. Again, you got a good hitter. Just waited on it, turned on it, and put it down the third base line. So this is a good hitter, you can tell. So Connor's going to have to be on his game here to get him out.
So their battling continues. Payoff pitch, up high, ball 4, and Young will take his base, but not before he makes Whited throw him a series of pitches. He threw him 10 pitches or so, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, at least 10, and that was just a little high, but yeah, it was about a 10-pitch at bat, so a good hitter that fought off a couple of pitches and got his way on base.
Sad thing is, bases are loaded now as we head into this next batter, which is Richard. First pitch is going to be in there for a ball, and he gets past Curl, and Curl's going to throw it over to Connor and not in time, and that's going to score Harmon from third. Harmon's been sitting at third for a while. Your score now 4-0. And Richard at the plate with 1 ball, no strikes. This pitch goes up, hits Ledger. Curl gets behind him, but nobody's going to go anywhere this time. Curl hustles over to get the ball and get it back to Whited in case the man at third, which is Nunn, decides to take off, but he doesn't. 2 balls, no strikes now. And Curl calls time as I think the last pitch may have gone through his netting of his glove. That's how fast that ball was from Whited. It's smoke still coming off the netting of the catcher's mitt.
Yeah, that was. I think it had been hidden that way for a couple of pitches, but yeah, the webbing came loose on that, so he's got to do an exchange here and get another glove.
So Curl trots back over now that he's got the new glove, switched from tan mitt to black mitt. Let's hope that that's really all we needed. That's what we needed, was to just switch catcher's mitts.
That's what Connor needs to see is that mitt instead of the tan one.
That's right. 2 balls, no strikes. Whited with the pitch. This one's up high, a curve, but it stayed up for ball 3. Bases are loaded. No. Oh, I'm sorry. Bases, we got runners in scoring position. Second and third. 4-0 your score. 3-0 pitch on the way. Ball 4. Now bases are loaded.
Must have been high. It looked good. It must have been high, though.
It's all about your point of view, right? It's all about his point of view. And that's going to bring up Green. Last time he struck out.
Yeah, this is the part of the order that Connor got through well in the first inning, so let's see if he can get through it here.
Clumps him right on the head. Inadvertently, naturally, that's going to force one across the plate with a hit by pitch. And Blue calls time to go ahead and give number 2 a chance to head on down there. Make sure that he's okay. He is okay. It wasn't a real hard thrown pitch. It was just a curve that didn't curve enough and plunked him right in the head. Right in the helmet, anyway.
We're going to have a pitching change now. Connor threw 49 pitches through an inning and 2/3, and Coach Sitzman has gone to the mound. He'll bring in Tate Sykes, and so we'll let Tate warm up a little bit. He'll move number 22, Rhett Rogers, to left field and put Connor at shortstop. Those are the changes for the Eagles here in the top of the second. Down 5-0 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. So Tate comes in with the bases loaded with 2 outs. A tough situation, but I feel like he can get through.
All right, and we want to say a special thanks to a couple people. First of all, Nick Jones, who was able to travel all across Vidalia to get us the what we needed with this phone charger that we're having to use. Again, if you're just tuning in or you're wondering why it's a little bit different today, our computer crashed on us moments before we were ready to log everything in, and so we're having to do this over the phone today. And with the digital, the nice thing, Rusty, with the digital signal, it should sound pretty much just like it does when we do it over the computer because it's all digital, but we're still having to hold the phone up here and do it over the phone. And so that gentleman has driven up to this ball field at least 3 times now, and he has been looking all over town for a charger that he could get us that we would be able to charge this phone because it's not a normal charger, as we have learned.
A hero, no doubt. A hero, no doubt.
Also want to thank the folks that make Vidalia Heritage Academy broadcast possible. Vidalia, family-owned and operated Alan Sykes Farms, and owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer. They grow a variety of crops but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions. They're stewards of God's soil and water and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy baseball. Leading off for the Highlanders will be Nunn, the first baseman, and then Divin, and then Duncan. And that's after the pitching change. First pitch is going to be on the inside corner, and Divin didn't like that at all. Or check that, Nunn didn't like that at all. Divin over there warming up on deck probably didn't like it either. Oh, no balls and 1 strike. Pitch hit towards third base where Thompson's going to feel it. Throw is forced out at home, and we can end the inning just like that. But they're able to score a couple runs before we're able to do anything to them. 5-0 your score now. First Presbyterian has the lead once again, and I'll do it a little bit better than I did the last time. We want to thank Sykes Farms, family-owned and operated. Owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer. They grow a variety of crops but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions. Sykes Farms, stewards of God's soil and water and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy baseball, and making the broadcast possible all season long. Got us quite a road trip on Saturday, my friend.
Yes, in Covington. Is that
sounds good? I just know we've got a road trip for a noon ball game.
That's at least a 3-hour ride, I think. So they'll leave early that morning and have a midday game. So it'll be a long road trip for them. But let's talk about Tate right there just a second. He comes in, bases loaded, tough situation, throws 2 pitches, gets a ground ball out. Can't ask for anything better. You know, he threw, maybe 10 warm-up pitches. Yeah. And so for him to come in on the mound, not be intimidated. Again, these are aggressive hitters. And so for him not to be intimidated, to come in and throw strikes like that and get an out, hey, hats off to Tate. He did a good job there. Let's see if he can keep it going the rest of the game. But now we've got to get these bats going on our end. So let's see if we can't get some runners on base and manufacture some runs here.
We've been playing for a little while now, over a half an hour or so, about 36 minutes. And in that time, we've only placed 3 of our batters up there. So we've got to do much better when we get this opportunity for batters 4, 5, and 6. So stick around because that's about to happen. Young is going to be on the mound again and remains on the mound for the Highlanders. Duncan is the catcher for the Highlanders. Everybody out in the field and everybody around the diamond is going to stay where they have stayed. I tell you something you don't want to people to misunderstand. Connor Whited had a short time on the mound today, but he didn't have a bad time on the mound today. We saw some things out of young Whited that I think is really going to benefit him as a pitcher and benefit this program as he continues to get a little bit more experience.
Oh, definitely. His control wasn't all that bad today. Like I said, I felt like he mixed his pitches up well. He was around the plate. They're just aggressive hitters, and they like I said, I thought he pitched good.
Mason Beecham steps up to the plate to start things off. First pitch is going to be on the inside corner for a strike. Second pitch is on the way quickly. This one's going to be hit towards the shortstop, Nunn, who's going to field it. The throw over to Nunn, his brother, is in time for out number 1. So a 6-3 play, a Nunn play, and out 1 is on the board. 5-0 your score. That's going to bring up Connor Whited.
Yeah, you could tell that shortstop's well versed in that position. He rounded the ball off. He didn't sit and wait on it. Rounded it off, made a good throw over there first.
Pitch to Whited on the way. Swung on, strike. Just a little mistimed swing on that one. He chased it a little late, and he falls behind in the count early, 0-1. Young with the 0-1 pitch. This one's hit back to Young. He'll field it and trot over with a toss of the ball, a flip to first, and out number 2. So just that quickly, we've put 2 up, and they've dropped 2 of us down. And that'll bring up Jacob Thompson. Thompson, our third baseman.
But I like the approach the Heritage hitters have had this inning. They're going up there aggressive, much like the other team. They're going up there swinging, not just looking for pitches. So let's see if Jacob can get on here.
Pitch to Jacob Thompson is called strike 1. You know what I was about to say was everybody's got up there and they swung at those first pitches if they were close, and then that didn't happen. Second pitch, now the second pitch right down the same pitch right down the alley, and guess where he goes? He swings on it that time. A little late on the swing, but he was trying to drive it down third base.
Exactly. So he's in the hole here, so he's going to have to battle here to be able to get on.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs very quickly. Young with the pitch as he waits for his sign, and he gets it. The windup and the pitch to Thompson. It's in there for a called strike 3, and just like that, 3 more up, 3 more down. They lead at the end of 2, 5-0. We head to the top of the 3rd inning. I want to thank the fine folks at Sykes Farms and remind you that family-owned and operated owner Alan Sykes is a 3rd-generation farmer. They grow a variety of crops but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions, stewards of God's soil and water, and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball. So now we head to the top of the 3rd inning, and we have what is the weaker part of their order. And that's not to say that this part of the order is weak by any stretch. It's just saying it's weaker in comparison.
No, they put the bat on the ball. These next 3 hitters put the bat on the ball. We were just able to get them out. So, you know, they're going to be aggressive, it looks like, at the plate, and we've got to be able to match them. Key here is can Tate, settle down here and know that it's his game now. It's his game, and so let's see how he does here on the mound.
Normally we get a break here and between pitches, and we get to hear some commercials and some sponsors, and we get to talk a little bit about the Lord and some other things. And today we aren't doing that because we can. We can definitely do that.
We're all in.
If I don't have it, yeah, that's right. If I don't have it scripted, I can't do a short sermon. So you'll have to take over on that one and do a devotion. So, well, I tell you something. So far, I know we were worried about that rain. We were talking about that. And so far, it seems to have held off. We don't need anything else to get in the way of our concentration to make things more difficult. First Presbyterian has come to play, and as their coach was telling them before the game, They need to come out here aggressive. They need to come out here ready to go, and they have come out here doing just that.
Exactly. Overcast sky, you talked about that a while ago. It's just a nice day for baseball. It's not too hot, just a good day for baseball. So it looks like we're going to be able to hold the rain off and get this game in. Here we are in the top of the third, down 5-0, and going to see what Tate can do here with these hitters.
It's going to be an opportunity to see, like you said, what he can do. Divon's going to be on the mound and start off here. The first pitch is going to be a pop fly, and calling it is going to be Ledger Curl, and Curl's going to misjudge it, and it's going to drop in. And I think problem with that was that the guys all got together, and there was just a little too crowding. Even though he called it, there was just a little too crowding around the dropping position of that ball. I think that's what caused Curl to misjudge it.
Yeah, again, you're only in your third game of the season. So, plays like that, it's going to take time to, to get used to everybody being where they need to be and listening to their voices and recognizing where they're at.
This one's hit out towards center. On the run is Hugh Baird, who's not going to be able to get to it, as that ball is going to get almost all the way to the fence. It would be the warning track if we had one, and a stand-up double for Divon, rather. We'll bring up number 27, Duncan, the catcher. Yeah, you know if you're Curl now, you're hitting yourself, you're beating yourself up, and he's got to put that past him and just move on. Remind yourself, too, listeners, that this is a young middle school player who is getting a lot of starting time. They take off second. They're going to steal, rather, from second. I don't know what he was doing, but he is – he called a balk on him. That's what he did. Now, Coach Sitzman's going to come out, and he's going to say, wait a minute. And he wants to hear from the official in the field what's going on, or he's going to go out here and talk to Tate and just explain to him that he can't do that, and it looks like that's what he's going to do.
Yeah, the runner took off, and as Tate was coming into being set, and Tate didn't get set all the way and make a complete stop. And so when he came up, he went ahead and threw it to third, and umpire made the correct call. It was a balk. So I think Coach Sitzman went out there again and explained it to Tate, because this is his first time on the mound this season.
Pitch is in there for a called strike. Well, again, and we were just saying this, 30 games into this, there's a lot of learning that's going on, and that's what this is all about. That's how you get this experience. That's how you build up experiences, by making those mistakes. Sometimes that has to happen. That clink you heard was a foul ball off the left side, 0-2 the count.
So position change here. I noticed Rhett Rogers moves back to short. Connor Wynad is at second, and James went to left.
Pitch straight up towards, or hit rather, straight up towards. Now we've lost position. Now we don't know what we're doing. Ball was hit straight back towards the pitcher. Tate decided instead of going to first, he would run back towards home. That pushed the runner back to third and allowed the runner to advance to second. And unfortunately, we don't get any outs instead of going ahead and grabbing the out. Even if we give up that run and he's able to make it, we need to get that out down there at first, because there's no force from third.
Yeah, a little indecisive there, but he caught the ball clean, threw it home. Ledger caught it, and then our third baseman wasn't in position to take the throw from third, so the runner runs back to third. Meanwhile, our second baseman and our short break in to the infield and allows the runner to go to second. So, again, we're having to learn our way through this thing.
Give you a courtesy runner in just a second. Pitch on the way. This one fouled back towards us and out of play. And, yep, that's going to tell you to wait for it as it hits the top of the home stands. Number 3, Eason, comes in to run for the pitcher, Young. Or is that the catcher we're running for, Duncan? Running for Duncan. Osteen at the plate. This one hit a grounder towards shortstop, bobbles it, picks it up. Now the throw down to first is not going to be in time. Unfortunately, statistician, do you give him an error on that?
Yeah, that's an error. That's an error. He bobbled it, didn't catch it cleanly, and allowed the runner to get on, so that's an error.
So now we got runners at first, and we got runners at third, runners at the corners, 5-0. And at the plate is Harmon. Pitch on the way, outside. And I'm waiting to hear. It must have been a ball. No, it was called a strike. No balls, 1 strike. Sykes with the pitch. Swung on. This one hit back towards Beecham. It gets through his glove and out towards right field. 1 run will trot, and he will score. And that'll be number 3, Eason, who was in. Throw to the plate. It's going to be in time for out number 1, and we got it. And we were able to stop number 7, Osteen, from coming all the way around, and he got up there on that error at second, and then we were able to stop him, or got there on the error, rather, got to first on the error. We were able to stop him from scoring. So 7-0 your score now. A couple runs scored. We had 1 run scored a few minutes ago, and then we had that run score. But nice play at the plate. They did a good job. And we got 0-1 the count now as the first pitch is in there for a swing and a miss, strike 1. The 0-1 pitch delivery is too far in there, had a nice curve to it. Did you see that? It curved and then curved back, so it wasn't enough. In the middle of the plate, now that thing curves in, curves out, and you don't know where you're going.
Right.
Nunn, the batter, the leadoff batter, 7-0 your score. First Presbyterian with the lead. Pitch on the way. Out inside, down between the legs of everybody and their grandmother, and on down the third is going to be the guy from second, Harmon. Two balls and 1 strike now. And 1 out. 2-1 pitch hit out towards left field on the run for it, and not going to be able to get to it is going to be, we're going to have to get you that change in a minute. James Hutchison. So he was unable to get to it, and I've got to get that down as soon as my buddy Rusty can give that to me on the defensive chart here. And if you'll give me that, give that to everybody else too. The defensive changes that changed a minute ago. Rogers came back to...
Yeah, James went to left, Rogers short, and Whited to second on that. So now we have the pitcher, Young, at the plate, and he fouls off the first pitch.
Thank you. I had to get my defensive chart all mixed up because a little, or situated there from where it had gotten all mixed up. I looked over at my cohort here and said, do that. And bless his heart, he's also keeping the big scoreboard. No balls, 1 strike. This one's hit through the gap between short and third. It's going to make its way to Hutchison out there, who will scoop it up and then bobble it. It gets out of his glove, and he kicks it even further. 1 run will score. The throw to second will not be in time, and a stand-up double for Young on the error, really, is what it boils down to, as he's able to make his way all the way over there. Takes off his equipment, throws it over to his coach as time is called. 9-0 your score now. And this is, I hate to ask the question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Before I ask the question, I'll tell you Richard is on, comes to the plate with green on deck. Did you feel sprinkles? Oh, you see the sprinkles on the, well, that may not be a bad thing. Pitch on the way. This one's down Main Street, but it was up high for ball 1. It looked good to me too. So 1 ball and no strikes now. Pitch is going to be outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. 9-0 your score. We're in the top of the third inning. Richards at the plate. Runners at second. Pitch on the way. Outside, ball 3. And I was going to say that, is this going to end up, if we don't score some runs, they're setting us up for a run rule?
It looks that way. But, again, Tate's doing okay. They're just putting the bat on the ball, and we're making errors in the field. So
popped up, fouled back towards the screen. He'll stay, move it to a 3-1 count. So Sykes steps back on the mound, checks back to second. Young is at second. Sykes gets the sign, and the pitch on the way. This one is in there for strike 2, and it's a full count. And I'll tell you something, Richard didn't like that one. He didn't think that one was there. He thought that was a walk, and he was getting ready to take it until he heard him call. the strike. So it's a full count now. The payoff pitch outside for ball 4, and Richard will take his base. And that's going to bring up number 2, the center fielder, Green. Struck out back in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second. Here's his chance in the third. He's hoping to do something. We're hoping he remains with an O. First pitch is way inside for a called strike. I mean, that was a gift for the Eagles. I've noticed I'm not going to say that too loud. I don't want the man in blue to hear me. Pitch on the way. This one's low this time. It's 1-1 now. Of course, he probably hears me because I'm loud, Rusty. Watch him turn around. I said that one time at a game, and the guy turned around and said, "Yes, I do." I said, "Oh." The 1-1 pitch. This one's hit hard but fouled off the right side. It's going to hit, and listen to it as it comes down over in the walking area behind our stands. 9-0 your score here in the top of the third. There's only one away, and the rain is starting to fall. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They take off from second. Young moves, and he gets balked again. Same thing that happened before, and both men moved down 90 feet. And as soon as he did it, he knew he had done it. He just couldn't stop. You can't blame him. I'll tell you why in a minute. 1-2 pitch. This one's going to be hit right where it needs to be towards second. The space between second and first. Throw will be in time at out number 2, but not before Young is able to score from third. 10-0 is your score now. I'll tell you why I don't blame him for balking like that is, as a young pitcher and a guy who's getting some experience out there, whether you're midway through your wind-up or whatnot, when you see that guy take off, there's this desire to throw it and stop him, and you're used to being able to do that kind of stuff when you're this pitch, we'll pause that story, is hit back to Sykes. Sykes throws it high. It bounces in and out of Beecham's glove, and a run will score, and that's Richard, who scores from third. 11-0 your score. But anyway, you think about that. That's it's almost a reactionary thing, especially when you're playing backyard baseball and nobody is calling you on a balk.
Exactly, and just a little indecisive there on Tate's part. Again, first time on the mound, and a little indecisive there and caused him to get on base.
Pitch hit down the gap, past shortstop, out towards Hutchison, who's going to scoop it up, and it'll be a base hit for Divin, the third baseman. That'll bring up Duncan, the catcher. 11-0 your score, top of the third inning. We got to play at least 5.
If we can get it in.
If we can get it in with the rain. But the rain is starting to come now, and it's falling. And now, having to set up here in the press box and do this on the cell phone doesn't seem like such a bad deal, does it?
Doesn't. It was a good idea.
It was your idea. So, first pitch outside, ball 1. Normally we would be doing this down on the field with all of our computer equipment, and right now we'd be scrambling to cover it up. Pitch. This one hit foul off the left side, but it wanted to chalk every bit of that line. And it'll even the count at 1-1. Time's been called out there in the field while I think we fix a shoe, and that's Connor Whitehead fixing his shoelaces, and I think he's okay now. And that's what it was.
1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs, 11-0 your score. First Presbyterian with a big lead. Pitch on the way. This one's hit up the line but fouled off the left side again. That's Duncan, the catcher. Osteen waits on deck. 2 away.
Duncan is 1 for 2 with a base hit and a ground out to short.
Pitch on the way. This one's hit back, gets past Tate. Sykes scooped up by Rogers, who throws it over to Beecham at first in time for out number 3. but not before they are able to do some damage and earn some serious insurance. We'll tell you about some stats in just a moment, but first we want to remind you that Vidalia Heritage Baseball is brought to you by the family-owned and operated Sykes Farms. Owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer, and they grow a variety of crops, but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions, stewards of God's soil and water, and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball. So now with the rain falling, we're getting ready to head into the bottom of the third inning, and we have a tremendous disadvantage in front of us now. 11-0 the score. We are way behind, and we've said it the last couple innings, but now it's more important than ever. We've got a lot of work to do. The rain is falling. There's no thunder and lightning in the area, just a heavy rain shower and a moderate rain shower now as it's lighting up a little bit. Hopefully we'll be able to get this game in. But with that being said, Rusty Rogers, there's no look over. You look out center field, there's nothing that says it's going to lighten up anytime soon.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But for that inning, we gave up 5 hits, but we had 4 errors. And let's see, 6 runs on 4 errors, 5 hits, and a walk. So we've got to come in here now in the bottom of the third and put some crooked numbers on the board.
Absolutely. We'll have a chance to do it, but we're going to have to, I think, face a new pitcher. Yeah, we are. So stand by while we get this pitching change, because they're going to move some defensive guys around on us. I tell you what, I'll see if we can call these out to you, and if Rusty can write them down on that chart for me. I know that number 8, Nunn, is going to come over from first base, and he's going to be pitching. That's going to put number 13, Harmon, from left field. He's going to be over at first, which is going to change everything around, I'm afraid. They like to do this, getting these other younger guys in, moving these guys around in different positions. Number 27 is that a 27 behind the plate? Oh, yeah. He's going to remain. Duncan's going to remain behind the plate. Third baseman is going to be Young, the pitcher, who was pitching, who started off for the Presbyterian Highlanders. Check that. Young is actually going to be playing second. Third base is going to be a young man who won't show me his jersey number. Soon as he turns his back, and it looks like it's going to be number 12, Divin, so he'll stay at third. And we're going to assume that the outfield stays the same. And I think that Osteen may have moved out to left field. But nevertheless.
Because Harmon came to first.
Because Harmon came to first. Okay, so he moves out to left field. That changes center. That may not change center, but it's going to change right. I'm not either, but we'll see if we can get it for you. Meanwhile, back here at the plate, we're ready to begin. First pitch is swung on, foul ball, hit down. And that is number 11, James Hutchison, our second baseman, who moved out to left field a little while ago during the pitching change. So we've got to see it's all a mess now.
Well, that's okay. We'll work it out. But again, I think the Eagles hitters here have to be aggressive with this new pitcher and get on base.
Pitch is going to be down in the dirt. Blue jumped out of the way. He didn't want to take that one in the face mask, and you can't blame him. 1-1 the count now on Hutchison. No, you're right. And with them putting some new players in, and that's, moving people around, and they're trying to get some positions in because they've got some GISA ball games coming up that are region games.
Exactly. So they want to get as many in that they can to give them some playing time.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on Hutchison. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 11-0 your score. First Presbyterian with the lead. It is raining here in Vidalia. The 1-2 pitch on the way. This one crosses the plate for a called strike 3 and out number 1. Coming up next to the plate, Matthew Norcus, the right fielder. Started out as right fielder today. Norcus has not had a chance to come to the plate today. That's kind of how we've been playing. It hasn't been real stellar behind the plate. It's been 3 up, 3 down twice. And so far, pitch is going to be hit towards the shortstop. He'll scoop that ball up, throws to first, and it's out in time for out number 2. And that's what I was saying is so far we're looking kind of the same way.
Yeah, but a good aggressive at bat there. Shortstop is just a real good player. Probably not where you want to hit it, but he did put the bat on the ball, and that's what we want to see.
Hugh Baird, the number 9 batter, comes to the plate. Center fielder, pitch on the way to Baird. Outside, and it's called ball 1. I almost called it a strike from here. But we got it for ball 1. Ball 1. And no strikes, 2 outs. The 1-0. Same place. That time it was called a strike. I don't know if he took my word for it, if he changed his mind, but it's 1-1 now, and that was the same pitch, don't you think?
Yeah, look at the same location. So, but Hugh's a player that if he can get around on it, he can get a hold of one here.
Fouled that one off to the left side down the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Baird. He's unfortunately 1 strike away from them doing that to us today. But I'll tell you something now. This is not First Presbyterian is not a team that you want to sneeze at. If I'm not mistaken, First Presbyterian gave us a run in the GISA for our money last year, and they were not a team to be trifled with. Pitch outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now.
No, you can tell well coached, well balanced, and hadn't seen any errors. So they're a very good team.
2-2 pitch on the way, hits the man in blue, bounces off of him, and sticks in the fence. So it's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
So Hugh has battled back here, being down in the count, and now he's got it to full count. Let's see if he can get around on one here and get on base for us.
Payoff pitch to Baird on the way, up high for ball 4, and he'll take his base.
Our first base runner.
We'll be back at the top of the order now. We got a runner on, and you're right, it is our first. Sykes comes to the plate, leadoff batter. Last time he was out at bat, he flied out to third base.
Yeah, popped up
to third base. And the scoreboard operator is going to clear the score. He's got it. Whoever that man is. Who is that masked man? Pitch on the way to Sykes. Outside they go to second as Baird runs down to second, slides under the tag for a safe call, and we're good in there at second base. Good bit of base running by Hugh Baird. He had to go hard, though, and he had to slide under the tag, and that's exactly what you want to see is those feet make it before that tag is applied around midsection.
Yeah, he took off a little late, but with his speed, he was able to get under the tag. It was a close call, but he was able to get in there.
This one's hit right back up Main Street. It's going to get to center, and center's going to field it and throw it back in home, and we'll have runners at the corners as the ball takes a nasty hop off of the mound and almost gives us a chance to take off from first down to second. And I'm sorry that I missed that was Ledger Curl. Check that. I'm sorry. That was Tate. We were Tate. Now Ledger Curl comes to the plate with 2 outs.
To get his catcher's equipment off there. But, again, a good aggressive at-bat by Tate. He took the ball right back where it came from. He was right on top of that. He was able to move Hugh over to third. Now we got runners on the corner with Ledger up. And let's see if we can't get this runner across.
So Curl steps in, they step off, we take off, and now we're caught in a pickle there between first and second, and they don't really know which way to go, and we are going to make it on down there to second. The throw down to second is going to be back, and the tag will be applied, and we are tagged out trying to steal down there, and that's out number 3. So we had a chance, and I think we got a little, I don't know if we wanted to try some things there or if we just got a little excited about being out there, but nevertheless, Sykes took off, and when he did, he was trying to advance that runner down from third, Baird, and he was unable to do so. And Baird kept watching for it and could have had an opportunity. I thought First Presbyterian was going to chase us back over at third. Had they done that, then we probably would have been safe at home, and we probably would have been safe down there at second, or at least safe back at first if we go back to first. Nevertheless, Curl will not be charged with that appearance. He'll get a chance to bat coming up in the next inning. So let's take a moment to remind you of the folks at Sykes Farms, proud sponsors of Heritage Athletics, and family-owned and operated. Owner Alan Sykes is a third-generation farmer. They grow a variety of crops, but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions, stewards of God's soil and water, and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball.
Yeah, so in that inning, we had one hit and left one on base, but we did get a runner across there. I think the Tate took off a little too early there, and the pitcher stepped off the mound, threw it, and then Hugh was able to make it to home when they were in the rundown with Tate from first to second. So he stayed in the rundown long enough to get the runner across. But again, I think that comes with learning the game. He took off a little too soon there, but he'll get it. He'll grasp it, and with his speed, he'll be a good player for us.
Now I'm trying to remember, and maybe you can remember this. I'm trying to remember the 10-run rule. Is it 10 after 5 and 15 after 3?
It may be 12 after 5 or 10 after 12 after 4, 10 after 5, I think.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
12 after 4, 10 after 5. Okay. Well, we are talking about 10 runs. I'll tell you what. I was going to see if our buddy down there at the bottom remembers Larry Curl. See if Larry Curl remembers that. Larry, what's the 10-run rule on this? What's the run rule? 10 after what? Because I'm broadcasting. Oh, okay. I'm told to mind my own business because we're about to come back. It's 11-1. We were going to talk to you about what could happen. They said don't worry about what can happen. Talk about what's going to happen. All right, Osteen's going to come to the plate now.
I believe that's who it is. With their changes, let's make sure, but I believe that's who it is.
And that is number 7, Osteen. Yeah, the right fielder. So Sykes at the mound. First pitch is going to be outside for ball 1. 11-1 your score. First Presbyterians got the lead. 1 ball, no strikes. Second pitch is going to be down there for ball 2. I think Blue got confused at first, and he called 0-1, then looked up the scoreboard and changed his mind. So it's 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch, this one's hit out towards shallow center field. He's going to have to run hard, and he can't get to it. It's going to bounce off the ground, hit Baird in the chest, and bounce off his chest and roll on over there. That was just a matter of he couldn't get to it in time. That was a perfect Texas leaguer hit right in the middle of the gap.
Yeah, Hugh has got good speed, but it was just looped in there and just dropped in for a hit. He came on strong for it, but just wasn't able to get it. And now we have a new hitter here. No, same one, number 13, Harmon.
Harmon, who hits the ball out towards right field, a base hit, and that'll advance everybody up 90 feet. Runners at first and second now. 11-1 your score. And that brings Nunn to the plate. Cam Nunn, the number 1 batter, leadoff for the First Presbyterian Highlanders. It's 11-1. This one's hit hard, but looks like it's going to be out of play off the left side. Well, he cracked that one.
Yeah, he really turned on that inside pitch. And he is 2 for 2 with a walk today and scored 3 runs. So good leadoff batter here.
Pitch on the way. This one's hit towards left. On the run is going to be Hutchison, who's going to scoop it. Nope, it's going to bounce off of him and get down there. And now you got to start dealing with the ball being wet, and it's a little bit tougher to play on. His hat came off and everything. Good thing it's in football. He'd have to come out for a play. He'll stay out there in left field, though. And now they got runners all across the pond. 11-1. First Presbyterians got the lead. Last time it up, he's 2 for 2 with a walk. This is Young, the original pitcher for First Presbyterian. Pitch on the way. This one's hit high towards center. I lost it, but Hugh Baird's on the run for it, and he is going to not get to it as it drops in left center. 1 run's going to score. The throw's going to be in time to stop anybody else from scoring. And that puts First Presbyterian up by 11. It's 12-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. First Presbyterian looks like they're going to make some type of change.
Just another first pitch swing there, and just found a gap out there in between right and center. But we still got the bases loaded here. We got to find a way to get out of it. Drawing the infield in.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who this is. This is number 3. So this is Eason who's come in for Richard. First pitch is in there for a called strike. Little breaking ball. Second pitch on the way. This one's straight in there straight on the inside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count now on Eason. This is his first appearance here today. And the pitch, the 1-1, way outside, ball 2, 2-1 the count. Pitch on the way. This one hit back up the line, past Sykes. It's going to take a nasty hop as it hits second. Baird's going to try to scoop, can't get to it, and it's going to get behind him. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score, and there's going to be a play at the plate, and it's not in time. 3 runs score. And it is 15-1. First Presbyterian with the lead. First Presbyterian giving a little chatter to each other as that Young came in and didn't slide to try to make score the run, but he got it nonetheless. Pitch on the way. This one's outside. They take off from second down to third. Is this a new batter?
This is Green.
This is Green.
Yeah, Green.
So we got to check that count. Then and I'll get that for you in just a second. As soon as he gives it to us. Pitch on the way. This one's going to be down for ball. And I believe it's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on Green. 15-1 the score now as First Pres has pulled way ahead again in this inning. Pitch inside, called strike. I mean, that was close enough to sit on his lap. I'll tell you one thing, though, that's been consistent. He's consistently called that inside pitch every time on the right-handed batter. Pitch on the way. Inside again, but not enough that time for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Waiting on deck is Nunn. The other Nunn. J. Nunn. Pitch on the way, swung on. This one's going to get over shortstop as we try to make a diving catch but can't get to it. And trotting in from third will be Eason. Up to second, the throw is not in time and the tag is applied but applied late. And another run scores. 16-1 your score, First Presbyterian. And the gas is starting to run out of us a little bit here in the 4th inning. So Green at second, 16-1 your score. At the plate now, pitch on the way, hit towards short, scoop it up as Rogers. Throw to first is going to be in time for out number 1, but not before they advance a runner 90 feet. $16-1 your score, First Presbyterian with the lead here in the top of the 4th. We've got at least another 2 innings to play unless there's something about the run rule that we don't know, and there probably is. Divin is at the plate. We asked Larry Curl, but he was no help. This one is hit high towards center. Hugh Baird backs up, takes the catch, pulls it out of the air for out number 2. There'll be a play at the plate and not in time as number 2, Green, scores from third. It's 17-1 now. And we'll get another batting change as the coach from First Presbyterian brings in number 20. And this is Evans. So Evans will come in. Pitch to Evans outside for ball 1. And good job by Ledger Curl coming off his knees and outside to get that one. Though there's nobody out there on the dance floor, so if he decided not to and it got by him, it wouldn't have hurt him. But it's good aggressive hustle by the young catcher. I'll get it out in a minute. The second pitch is up high. 2 balls, No strikes, 2 outs now, 17-1 your score. And this is Evans in to bat. Pitch to Evans, swung on, strike. 2 balls and 1 strike now on Evans. Rusty Rogers has so many things to do up here. He's hitting all kinds of buttons. 2-1. This one's hit back towards third, and the gap is short. Rogers will pick that one up. The throw to first in time. He did it again, this time for out number 3. Some good defensive play by the number 6 man, and we will head to the break. The score 17-1. The Highlanders with the lead over the Eagles. Family owned and operated. Owner Alan Sykes and Sykes Farms is a proud third-generation farmer. They grow a variety of crops, but specialize in sweet Vidalia onions, stewards of God's soil and water, and proud sponsors of Vidalia Heritage Academy Baseball. All right, Mr. Rogers, I know you've got a lot of stats to talk about from that. What do you have, buddy?
Okay, let's see if we can add these up. 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 errors on the Eagles there. So, but, hey, again, we talked about it early on. This team has come in here, put the bat on the ball. We're throwing, some pitchers that haven't been on the mound a lot. They're still having to learn to throw off of that portable mound. So a lot to look forward to. But, again, we're just going to have to buckle down here and see if we can't get some runs across here and claw our way back into it.
What do you think Coach Sitzman tells these guys as they're coming in off the field right now? Just get out there, fight as hard as you can, because no matter what, you got a game to play.
Well, again, I think the plate, your approach at the plate has to be the same game plan right now. You have to be aggressive. You've got a pitcher out here that probably hadn't thrown but about 15 or so pitches, so he's been on the bench for a little while now. His arm probably not as warm as it probably needs to be, and so I think you just look for your pitch here in the zone, be aggressive, and try to find your way on base somehow, some way. I think that's what you tell them as they come in to bat here.
All right, well, we'll see. And those words brought to you by Sykes Farms. All right, Ledger Curl didn't get a chance to bat last time. He got up there, and some stuff happened out on the diamond, and it was unfortunate for us, and he gets another shot at doing it as we start off the bottom of the 4th inning. 17-1 your score. First Presbyterian with the lead if you're just tuning in here. As Vidalia Heritage plays the Highlanders of First Presbyterian host them. The rain has stopped raining for a nice little minute. We got a window. First pitch is going to be in there to the outside for a ball. Ball 1, no strikes on Ledger Curl.
Turn the lights on.
Yep, the lights have come on too. That's right. Pitch on the way. This one's down and outside for ball 2. 2 balls now as Curl's ahead in the count. Pitch to Ledger, the 2-0. Outside corner, now it's 2-1. Curl waits. Pitch, 17-1 your score. That pitch is inside, and he almost did hit for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. Now on the middle schooler. Playing high school baseball. That's right. 3-1. Hit back towards us. Apparently he doesn't want us talking about it because he hit that one right at us. Thankfully for the screen, we're safe. And it's a full count now on Curl. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. No outs. Curl the first batter here in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch to Ledger. Curl on the way. This one's hit towards the gap at center. It's going to bounce down and get behind him. And he can't get to it as that one rolls all the way to the warning track and to the fence. And Curl will come into second with a stand-up double, and a nice job by Ledger Curl. Again, the middle school batter. And now Rhett Rogers comes to the plate. Another middle school batter. Oh, and that pitch comes in and goes over his head. It's ball. And I think he hit him. So it did hit him. Rhett Rogers is okay as he heads on down to first base, hit by a pitch. Rusty Rogers just proved that he can do everything except also be dad. He was trying to take pictures. He had his hands full. That's going to bring up Mason Beecham now. We got runners at first and second. Beecham on the way. First pitch to him is in there for a called strike. Last time at bat was back in the second inning. He hit into a 6-3 out. Looking for a chance to redeem himself now with a plate appearance of 0-1. Pitch gets past him, and we're all going to advance 90 feet. The throw down to third is not going to be in time, but I'll tell you something Ledger learned. Ledger didn't think that was coming to him, and he had to hit the gas and make it about halfway there, and he did it.
Well, with those two, we don't have speedsters on the base right there, but he was able to get in there and get under that tag. So we've got runners at second and third now for Mason.
1-1 to Mason Beecham. This one's hit towards the gap at short. It's going to be scooped up, and the throw is going to be to first. And not in time as it bounces out of the glove. Mason's going to run second. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. And Mason, on the error, gets all the way to second base. So he gets to first on the base hit, and he's not out. He's down to second on the error. And because I think he beats it out when he gets down there to first. And even if he doesn't beat it out, I'm going to give it to him. My score is not official, so I'm going to give it to him. 17-3 your score now with a couple runs as Heritage begins to battle back ever late in this game. Well, midway through this game if they want to play every bit of it. Throw back to second's not going to be in time. Down at the plate now is going to be Connor Whited. Hit into a 1-3 position straight up to the pitcher and was thrown out at first. Last time at bat, did that back in the second inning. So he's 0-1 now with a chance to do what some of these other guys who were 0-1 have done. First pitch is in there for a called strike. So it's now 17-3. We got a runner at second base. And the pitch on the way. Up high for ball 1. 1-1 to count on Whited. Remember, this is Whited's second time at bat and his first time seeing this pitcher. The 1-1 pitch on the way. He swings at it, but he was too far to the outside and misses it. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Whited. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, strike 3 and out number 1. And Whited goes down swinging. That'll bring up Jacob Thompson to the plate. Thompson struck out looking back in the second. Pitch on the way to Thompson almost gets him. He jumps back out of the way for ball 1. Beecham is down at second, looking for a chance. He's thinking, just let me get 90 more feet. I'll make it 180 if you want. Pitch on the way. This one hit back towards our dugout and into our dugout. So 1-1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. We're only in the 4th inning, but Rusty, we've played a lot of baseball. There's just been a lot of game going on here. The 1-1 pitch is outside for ball 2. And I don't know what Coach did tell him, but I think you're right on the money. Your game plan has to be the same when you're behind the plate. You've got to get out there and just swing and hit, swing and hit. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch on the way, down low for ball 3.
Yeah, look for a pitch in your zone. That's exactly what Ledger Curl did. That's exactly what Mason Beecham did, and that's what you want out of your 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters there. Is looking for the pitch in their zone and putting the bat on the ball.
3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch is in there for a called strike, and Thompson will take it. He didn't like it. He didn't think – it wasn't a matter of him burning that one. He just didn't think that one was there. So it's a full count now on Thompson. There's only 1 out. Runner at second. Pitch on the way. Swung on, fouled off towards us. Almost made its way over the net. It was stopped right at the end.
But there again, full count. Now he's got to battle. He fouled that one off. He's battling here at the plate. Let's see if he can't get a pitch right here in his zone and put it in play. Full count. Pitch on the way. This one's hit towards first. It's going to get through the gap.
And it's going to get out there to right field, and we'll be around third. We started, and Coach Sitzman put the brakes on Mason Beecham. Beecham hit those brakes and skidded through the dirt, comes back over to third, and we'll take a base hit like that as that brings up number 11, James Hutchison, to the plate. And Coach from First Presbyterian is going to go out and talk with this pitcher. I hope he doesn't make a pitching change at this point, only because we can't play commercials.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. But there again, let's take a look back at Jacobs at bat. He got got down in the count, battled his way back to make it full, and fouled off a pitch, and then found this pitch right toward the outside part of the plate and hit it between first and second for a base hit. So you can't ask for anything more. He, like I said, got down in the count, battled his way back, and found his way on base and moved the runner over. So great at bat by Jacob.
There's some momentum going that I'll be honest with you, thinking about this going into this inning, I didn't think that there was going to be any momentum. I was talking from a standpoint of just go out and play your best and in the game with your head held high, not try to come out to this and actually get some momentum going, but that's exactly what the Eagles are doing.
Exactly, but take a look back at what's transpired thus far. They have put the bat on the ball. They have had a lot of base hits. We've made a few errors that's cost us several runs, but here now at the plate, we're battling here. It looks like, and putting the bat on the ball and moving runners over. So let's see if we can't keep it up.
All right, they have broken the huddle out on the mound, and they have not made any pitching changes. He comes off the mound, steps back, and makes everybody tag back up. He being Nunn, by the way, the pitcher. And now the pitch to Hutchison. It was low, and he just swung on it, kind of a wave for strike one. Pitch on the way. Outside for ball one. It's 1-1 now on Hutchison. 17-3 the score. We're trying to battle back here in the fourth inning. Pitch to Hutchison. It was inside, and he swung on it. Thing about that was just mistimed. If he doesn't swing on that one, it's going to be called a strike anyway. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Hutchison. He falls behind in the count. There's 1 out. We got runners at the corners. 17-3. We have a lot of work to do. Pitch on the way. That one's going to be low, and we're going to take off from first, and we'll do it. Stand up, stolen base for Jacob Thompson. So Thompson at second, Beecham at third. 2-2. Outside, behind his back, it's 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Thompson. I'll check that on Hutchison. Pitch on the way. Inside, swung on it, popped it straight up. They're going to make a run for it. Third baseman Young is going to get it for out number 2. That's going to bring up Matthew Norcus to the plate. Last time up, Norcus hit into a shortstop to first position. 6'3" in your book. He hit into the shortstop and was thrown out before he could get on down and run it out. He'll have a chance now as he steps to the plate. 0-1 on the day to make it 1-1. And, we said that earlier, and some guys have done just that. Pitch on the way. This one's going to be outside corner for a called strike. We'll do our best with these guys getting their names out there. But the thing about it is most of you listening from Heritage probably don't know where the positions are being played, do they? The second pitch is in there called, or check it, swing and a miss, strike 2. So there's no balls and 2 strikes. None on the mound with the pitch. This one's hit back to him. He's going to scoop it up, trot over a few steps, flip it over to first in time for out number 3. So he hits into a 1-3 that time, and that's your ball game. 17-3, the final score. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to make my way down and talk with Coach Sitzman real quick. I'll tell you something. First, I want to thank Rusty Rogers for sitting in for us with that ball game, and thanks Sykes Farms as we make the way on down the press box to grab Coach Sitzman if we can get to him and talk with him real quick. But hard-fought game. Rusty, when you come down, we'll give you some stats for the game. So Rusty's going to come down and give us some stats for the game, but a hard-fought game. A lot of work these guys have put in today, and Coach Sitzman had to do it in some rain. We'll get him to come and join us in just a moment as we talk with him about today's ball game. Again, your final score 17-3 here at Vidalia Heritage. Coach Sitzman. He's making his way over here now. We'll get just a couple quick words. Coach, I know you got a lot to go over there and talk to your guys about. If there's anything we can say about today, it's you guys didn't stop fighting. You got up there at the end and you started putting some runs on the board. A lot of teams would have quit at that point.
Yeah. Most of all, we just got to learn to play some defense, and we're struggling with pitching right now, and we only have 1 to 2 pitchers, and we got to find some pitching, and then when the pitching's there, we got to be able to play defense, and we got to have their backs. When the kids are throwing strikes and the kids are rolling over the balls, we got to be able to make those outs. And if we can't do those small things, it's going to be hard to win a game. But if we can fix those things, and there's a lot of positive feed coming back from that. So. All
right. Well, Coach, I know you got to go talk to your team. Thank you for taking time to talk with us. All right, Coach Seth Sitzman talking with us about today's game, and again, a lot of hard fighting going on at the end of this ball game. I'll tell you something. He said it very well, and when he said that we got some stuff that we got to learn on the mound, and we've got to quit. We can't beat ourselves, and when we get behind the plate and we start battling like that, Rusty Rogers, it's tough for us to get our opportunities behind the plate and wait until the 4th inning, 5th inning to battle, and that's really what we did today. We didn't get an opportunity. I mean, had we done that in the beginning, you're talking about a 3-3 ball game in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, exactly. So you look back, we had 6 errors in the field. 2 wild pitches, one of those run scored. So you look at defensively, we really just made too many errors. They put the bat on the ball, but those errors add up, and runners cross the plate when you make those errors. So got to do a little bit better job defensively cleaning that up. Now, what do you take from the game positively? I think you look at that last inning and you look at how aggressive we were at the plate. We were able to put the bat on the ball, got a couple of hits, moved some runners over, scratched a couple of runs off across the plate. And so I think you take that positively from the game. Now, again, young team, we know that. They're going to make mistakes, but Coach Sitzman and the coaching staff will have them ready at practice. They'll get back to work at it and go at it again later on in the week. But, again, a tough opponent. But we got a lot to look forward to as the Eagles continue their season here.
All right, on behalf of my buddy Rusty Rogers and Coach Seth Sitzman and our headmaster Jeff McCormick, I'm Chester Proctor, and thanks again to Sykes Farms for making this broadcast possible. And we'll catch you next time as we continue to bring you Viking baseball, brought to you by Sykes Farms right here on the Vidalia Heritage Academy Sports Network. Good night, everyone.